October 28th, the year 2000. Children all across the United States gathered in front of their television sets for their yearly viewing of their favorite Nickelodeon Halloween specials. It was Saturday night, and Halloween was in a few short days. This week's Snick Block was hosted by Melissa Joan Hart of Sabrina the Teenage Witch fame, and she would present the children of America with a different sort of treat. The world premiere of what would soon become the most infamous release in Nickelodeon history. A film by the name of Cry Baby Lane. The film was aired only once, and immediately sparked outrage among parents over the intense material that their children were exposed to. And now, 20 years later, the film has yet to resurface. Many believe that the film never existed at all, believing instead that the film only exists as part of an internet legend. The contents of the film have been debated over a good many years. As it turns out, not many people actually witnessed the airing of this movie, and those who did only saw it once, decades ago. Some say the film centered around a set of conjoined twins, one of whom turned out to be pure evil and ate the other. Others say the film included a morbid undertaker who feeds children to his rabid dogs. There are plenty of rumors surrounding the film, and while it has yet to resurface, it's safe to say that such ideas wouldn't make it past Nickelodeon's Standards and Practices department. It does bear the question, though, since when has Nickelodeon shied away from exposing children to such intense imagery? I mean, this is the channel that brought us this. This.
Gotcha.
And on their website, they gave us this.
Thank you.
So, bearing that in mind, what could this movie possibly consist of that even Nickelodeon would admit goes too far? What line did Nickelodeon finally cross? And more importantly, if this film does exist, where is it now, and how can I get my hands on it? Well, fear not, dear viewer. I have my ways. So go ahead and grab some popcorn, some soda, various other confectionery, and let's take a look at what Nickelodeon tried to keep buried for so long. The tape itself opens with Melissa Joan Hart introducing the movie for us before the show actually begins.
I'm Melissa Joan Hart, otherwise known as Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I gotta say it's good to be here on Halloween weekend hosting Snick. Why, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you did, because tonight, Nickelodeon brings you the world premiere of an original movie called Cry Baby Lane. So, pop up some popcorn, get a blanket to hide under, and maybe one more thing.
Way ahead of you, Sabrina. We open with a narrator as he begins to tell us about the urban legend of Cry Baby Lane. As the story goes, a farmer's wife gave birth to a set of conjoined twins.
Due to a rare embryonic mutation, the infants joined as one flesh and came into this world freaks.
A little harsh, but okay. Anyway, the farmer's wife gave birth to a set of conjoined twins, but unfortunately, one of them was pure evil. So yeah, standard urban legend stuff. But I gotta say, I'm liking the atmosphere so far. It's actually kinda creepy for a kid's movie. A farmer separating a pair of dead conjoined twins with a saw and burying them in separate graves. It's honestly kind of brutal for a kid's movie. I could totally see a kid being freaked out by that. But for the most part, it really just sounds like the kind of urban legend that kids would tell each other. The kind of story that an older kid would make up to scare a younger kid. So yeah, kind of freaky for the demographic, but I think it's mostly pretty harmless. So the narrator finishes his story, and we see that the story itself is being told to these two kids, Andrew and his older brother Carl.
It's getting late.
Oh, is it? It seems early. I don't sleep much. I never have. You know, the average person swallows 5 spiders a year in his sleep. It's a fact.
Okay, first of all, pretty sure that's not true. How could you possibly know that with any certainty? Secondly, why did you bring that up right the fuck out of nowhere? I get that it's probably going to come back up later, but he just brings it up apropos of nothing. So Carl and Andrew head home while the opening credits play out, and we eventually see Andrew having a nightmare about the story he was just told. So he goes to tell his mother about his nightmare and the story, and she forbids them from ever going to the funeral home ever again.
No more, you hear me? I don't want you two going to that funeral home again, understood?
And Carl isn't too happy about this.
I'm sorry, right? Carl, I'll make it up to you, right?
Good man, Andrew.
Here's a plan.
Well, that settles that. The two ride into the cemetery to set up a good old-fashioned Halloween prank.
Oh, here we go. This is perfect. Well, that's that. Snack cake?
Alright, commercials. Yeah, I should have expected that. Sorry, let me just get past these and we'll get back to the... Wait a second, I think I remember this one. Yeah, this one's a classic.
Hi, you look like you could use some breakfast. How about some Honey Nut Cheerios? It's okay, look, it's got real golden honey. Honey, good.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, sorry about that. Back to the show.
Let us all join hands. Arise, spirit of the dead. X-ray, omne, isme, balale. Adi dui dembella.
Okay, fine, I won't make that joke again. It's too easy anyway. To be honest, I'm not really finding a whole lot to riff here. The acting's fine, the pacing's okay, the dialogue sucks, but it's not offensively terrible. Yeah, this is okay so far. This is just the first act after all, and with an opening like that, I'm sure it'll pick up soon. It's got to, right? I mean, it had to have been banned for a reason. So Carl and Andrew finish their prank, have their fun, but then a faint sound is heard on the wind.
Cut it out, Carl. Carl, stop it.
If I know my shitty horror movies, this has to mean that the fake seance worked. Fucking somehow. You know, I had decently high hopes for this movie before this scene, but at this point, summoning rituals are basically screenplay poison as far as I'm concerned. Seances, summoning rituals, Ouija boards. I honestly can't remember the last time I've seen a genuinely good movie that had any of these things. If the story you're writing heavily relies on a seance or a Ouija board or something, you're probably better off scrapping it and starting over.
Carl, what? Maybe the seance worked.
Okay, but how? You went into a cemetery and said some gibberish. Is that all it takes? The next morning, we see Mr. Bennett going about his Undertaker duties, which includes waking up this guy. Gary. He has to wake up Gary, who's asleep in the backhoe, for some reason.
I was in a dream. I was in The Price is Right. And I lost.
That still doesn't explain why you're... screw it, I don't care.
You think all I have to do is dig a hole? I gotta use the backhoe. I gotta gas up the backhoe. I gotta go get gas for the backhoe. I gotta put the gas in the backhoe.
All in favor of ignoring Gary the Gravedigger as much as possible, please raise your hands. Thank you. So Gary and Bennett go about their groundskeeping duties when they come across a dog. This dog, in fact.
Oh, Mary's an old sweetheart.
What is it, girl?
When I say so, run.
Just don't run very fast, or very well. So anyway, Gary fights off the dog, and Bennett saves him just in the nick of time.
Man, I can't afford no doctor.
Doctors will kill you. I've seen it.
By treating a man's dog wounds? How? And why?
I've never seen that dog even bark at anyone.
It's bad luck. Now anything can happen. Look what happened to me.
It's bad luck to be attacked by a dog? I don't think we need to chalk that one up to superstition. I think getting attacked by a dog is its own misfortune. So Bennett goes over to Andrew and Carl's house to speak with them about what just happened. Why he thought to go there first, your guess is as good as mine.
Look, there's something strange going on. I just came from the cemetery, and T-Bone's dog, he tried to rip Gary's throat out.
I'm sorry, what?
T-Bone's dog, he tried to rip Gary's throat out.
T-Bone? Who's T-Bone? And why haven't we met him yet? Why are we wasting our time with Gary when there's a T-Bone somewhere? So anyway, Bennett fucks off and we transition to these girls as they make their way to this RV that definitely has a meth lab in it.
Sorry I'm late, Mrs. Hunt. Cookie dough? That's gonna kill the baby.
Why does this movie have so many non sequiturs? There are so many dialogue choices in this movie that make no sense whatsoever.
Where is everybody?
Come and find out.
Huh. So that's what Oogie Boogie's up to these days. We get a super subtle transition to a dinner scene, and oh, just wait until you see this movie try and handle character development.
Why am I so afraid of everything?
Afraid? You're not, Andrew. You're sensible.
No, I'm not.
I'm a pussy.
I can't even make a phone call.
You're too hard on yourself.
I was thinking it was your fault.
This movie's really trying to make it seem like Andrew's cowardice is a big part of his character, but it's really not. We haven't really seen it anywhere up until now. The only thing we've seen him being scared of is getting in trouble for playing in the cemetery. Then potentially raising the dead, I guess. And that's totally valid. Kids don't like getting in trouble. Or potentially raising the dead, I guess. All of this seems like a growing up allegory for Andrew, not so subtly hinted at by him no longer wanting to play with his friend that's 3 years younger than him.
I'm not going out with your mom.
Yeah, but if you married her, you could be my dad.
Although if I had a friend who really wanted me to be his dad, I'd probably stop hanging out with him too. So Carl and Andrew ride off in search of the girls from last night to try and explain the situation to them. And on the way, they make some time for some good old-fashioned bonding.
Be bold. Be fearless. Be the man.
I'm the man.
Louder.
I'm the man.
I'm the man. Come on.
I'm the man.
I'm the man.
I'm the man. I'm the man.
I'm the man.
And then this happens. Okay, now I see why this movie was banned. Okay, no, Carl doesn't die. He just gets abducted by a pile of worms instead. Much more reasonable.
Kathy? What's going on?
We're having fun.
There's someone who wants to meet you.
Help! Somebody please help me! Help! You're mine.
Sir.
Ooh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so to recap, the seance worked, fucking somehow, and now the evil twin is awoken from his grave, and his MO is to abduct the children of the town and turn them evil so that they can do his evil bidding. We're about halfway through the movie, and honestly, it's been kind of boring so far, not gonna lie. But all we need is for this creepy dead guy to do something fucked up to one of these kids, and I think we'll have an answer as to why this movie was banned. And hopefully, this movie will start to pick up from here. Ah, shit, more commercials. Sorry, let's just... Oh, wait, I love this one.
Hey, little M&M's. Wow, great costumes. What are you guys, like 4 or 5?
46.
All right, yeah, okay. Here you go.
You don't understand, Slick. We're here for the party.
Yeah, that's cute.
Put your hand.
That's amazing. You know, I think they still run this commercial to this day. I don't really watch cable TV that much. Most of the commercials I see nowadays are on YouTube. You know what? Fuck it. While we're here, let's take a look at one more.
I may be stranded, but at least I got my Fruity Pebbles.
Oh man, Fruity Pebbles. You know, I can't remember the last time I had Fruity Pebbles. I remember liking them just fine as a kid, but I always hated how they got so soggy so quick, you know? I was always more of a Cocoa Pebbles kind of guy. At least when the cereal turned soggy, you had some nice chocolate milk in your bowl, you know? Sorry, I'm getting off topic here. Okay, one more. Just one more commercial, and I swear we'll get back to the movie.
Taco Bell presents Nacho and Dog.
Huh, a lot of food-related commercials on this tape, it turns out.
Nacho, is your costume on yet? Okay, I'm ready. Finally. Ta-da! Ooh, what are you supposed to be? I'm a bean burrito!
Does anybody remember Nacho and Dog? I don't think I ever saw this one as a kid. Which kind of sucks, actually. I kind of like these two. The animation has this whole cat-dog vibe going on. It's actually pretty charming.
Now when you buy a Taco Bell kids meal, you can get a Goosebumps toy.
What?
Get the Rapping Mummy, the Skullmobile, or more.
Oh my god, I want it. I want it so bad.
But beware, you're in for a scare.
Goosebumps toys from Taco Bell. What a great time to be a kid, man. God. Okay, back to the show. So we meet back up with the now evil Carl leading Andrew into a barn. For some reason. I mean, if the evil twin's whole shtick is that he wants to control the children of the town, then wouldn't he have Carl lead Andrew back to where he could take control of him? Whatever, this has to be going somewhere. Let's just see what happens in the barn.
It's freezing.
okay, so this is another prank. The girls show up and start throwing shit at Andrew before just magicking themselves away, I guess. And then... so Andrew starts running, and running, and running, and eventually comes across these guys having a grand old time. Just some cold ones with the boys, grilling some fish that hasn't been cleaned or scaled, and blowing up the boat that you own. Typical Saturday night. Totally reasonable thing to do. Seriously though, why blow up the boat? I understand that these guys are possessed by the evil twin, but they didn't even know that Andrew was there. And every other time we've seen someone wreaking any kind of havoc, they were doing it to someone else. This just seems like a really odd and stupid choice. So Andrew steals himself some clothes and makes his way back over to Bennett's place to tell him what's going on.
Well, that's that.
Glad to see you're taking the death of your father so well. Also, who hosts a funeral at night?
It's really nice of you to throw in the flowers and the food.
Hi, Jim Gaffigan. Fancy seeing you here.
I never asked for cold cuts. Dan, come on. We're friends, huh?
No, we're not.
And goodbye, Jim Gaffigan. What was that, a cameo? You think your audience of 11-year-olds is gonna know who Jim Gaffigan is?
Andrew, let me tell you a story. It's about the farmer who had the Siamese twins.
I believe they prefer to be called conjoined twins.
And hillbillies prefer to be called sons of the soil. But it ain't gonna happen.
After the twins died, and they were separated, there was a mistake. The bodies got put into the wrong graves. The good son was buried out in the field, and the evil one was put in the grave where you had your seance last night.
Oh, don't look so shocked.
Okay, I promise that's the last one. Unless I think of another one, and then that will be the last one. So, let me get this straight. The farmer separated the twins and buried the evil one in the cemetery and buried the good one at Crybaby Lane. And Carl and Andrew just so happened to do their fake seance at the exact right grave of the evil twin. And somehow, the fake seance worked like a real seance and released the spirit of the evil twin. And that spirit is possessing everyone in town. That's so much to buy, movie.
You're telling me one story, and now you're telling me another story.
I'm the one who separated the bodies.
What? What? So Bennett, the Undertaker, was the farmer from the story. And he's the one who separated the twins and buried them in the wrong graves. You know what? I think this is an appropriate time for... Why separate the twins in the first place? That kind of makes sense in the context of an urban legend, because it sounds like the kind of thing that a superstitious farmer would do over 100 years ago. But this apparently happened 31 years ago. If you're the one who separated the twins, why would you tell anybody in the first place? Wouldn't that be a dark family secret that you would take to your grave? Why are you telling the story as if it's some urban legend? What do you gain from that? You said that the farmer buried his twins separately to hide the shame. If you're the farmer, then why are you going around telling everyone? If this is a spirit that can be awoken so easily, then why are you going around telling everyone? Carl and Andrew went into the cemetery looking for a random kid's grave. What are the fucking chances that they would run into the exact right grave of the evil, dead, conjoined twin that you buried there? You took a look at the Mulder grave earlier. Why didn't you think to mention, hey, someone tampered with my dead evil son's grave? The surname of the evil twin was Mulder? Why wasn't it Bennett? Did you change your name to hide the shame? If so, then why are you going around telling everyone? This is stupid. Wait, that's not a question. Why is this so stupid?
Why did you tell us this story? And why didn't you tell us the whole thing?
Because I didn't want anybody messing around, if you can believe that.
Then why tell it at all?
Then why tell it at all?
Because you like ghost stories.
Then why tell him a real one that encourages him to go messing around?
Isn't that the only reason you come over?
Then... Hey, that's a good question. Why do these kids come over? And why is that so important to you? And most importantly... who and where is T-Bone? Alright, that's enough. But that does raise a good point. We never really learn how these kids know Bennett the Undertaker or why they like to hang out with him. I guess they just really like hearing his stories. But still, he's not related to anyone, the kid's parents don't really seem to like him. Kinda seems like an odd relationship. But whatever, maybe he's just the Doc Brown in this situation and we're just not supposed to question it.
Tell me how you did it.
It was pig Latin. It was a joke.
Does this movie know how stupid it is? Because it sounds like the kind of dialogue that you write when you realize that the thing you wrote is completely fucking stupid. I'm betting that the script only has one draft. So Andrew's mother shows up to drag him back home, and Carl fakes an apology about the whole ordeal.
I guess I got carried away. I didn't mean to scare you so bad. Won't happen again.
There.
I never should have taken you to Bennett's. Mom's right. He is a bad influence.
Yeah, he is. He's also really fucking stupid. Meanwhile, Bennett goes over to talk to Gary.
What did you mean about bad luck?
I wasn't saying anything. It's just a superstition, that's all.
You said it was bad luck. Now, anything could happen.
Yeah, it's bad luck when you're messing with the stones, like when you cut the grass. It's bad luck if you cut too close to the stones. They say every grave has like a weed or a root that grows out of the soul of the dead guy. If you cut the weed, you cut the soul loose, okay?
Okay, no, that's not what you were talking about in that scene. You guys were talking about the dog. Neither of you mentioned a goddamn thing about weeds, or roots, or stones. Don't try to make it seem like this had any significance whatsoever. So Bennett goes to grab his keys and head over to Crybaby Lane when the silliest shit I've ever seen goes down.
Ouch! A ring of gold to rule them all, to seek them and to find them. A ring of gold to be their king, and in my power bind them.
Excuse me?
That's right. Bennett is incapacitated by a 9-year-old kid with a plastic lightsaber. Who fucking wrote this? Anyway, Andrew sneaks out and runs back over to find Mr. Bennett.
At your little seance, did you cut any plants?
No.
Do you want to think about that for a split second?
Carl, he pulled up some vine to hide his Walkman. It was part of the joke.
That's it. That's what it is.
You need a doctor.
No doctors.
Okay, what do you have against doctors? Is it because they couldn't save the twins? Wait, does that mean that you haven't been to a doctor in the past 31 years? That's not good. You really are an idiot, aren't you?
Listen carefully. There's a weed or a vine that grows out of the grave. It comes from the twins' heart.
Yes, I know. Get on with it. So Kenneth, this is Kenneth. We're ignoring him too. Kenneth agrees to drive Andrew over to Crybaby Lane so that they can free the soul of the good twin and fix everything. They take to the road, more filler happens, and eventually Kenneth and Andrew find themselves at the farmer's house from the story. How Andrew knows it's the farmer's house? I couldn't tell you. Or even begin to give a shit. Oh, thank God, another commercial. Huh, never thought I'd say that. But hey, look, this one's Simpsons related.
Whoa, Millhouse, that frozen black cherries turned your tongue black. My tongue's black too.
You know, as far as fast food places go, Burger King ranks pretty close to the bottom for me. I just never seem to have a good experience there. However, I would go this very minute if I could get one of these Simpsons Halloween toys. Burger King, Taco Bell, McDonald's, all of them were trying to make childhood obesity fun in their own little way. You just don't see anything like these today. Okay, I'm stalling. I know I'm stalling. But honestly, can you fucking blame me? This movie is so unbelievably boring. What was the last thing that actually advanced the plot in some way or raised the stakes at all? Carl getting possessed? That was 25 minutes ago. Everything else is just filler and exposition, and not a second of it has anything resembling the moody tone that was set by the opening sequence of the film. This movie's maybe only an hour and 10 minutes without the commercials, and it's one of the slowest things I've ever seen. And also, might I add, not scary whatsoever. We got about 14 minutes left until the end of the movie, and I haven't seen anything even remotely ban-worthy. But whatever. Maybe they saved all of it for the end. So come on, movie. Give me something. Anything. So Kenneth and Andrew find themselves in a cornfield when this happens. Run to the side, idiot! At this point, I hope you trip. So Kenneth decides to hide from the tractor in the hearse, which is a great idea. And now Andrew is all alone.
Kiss me, Andrew. What? I want you to kiss me.
You have a choice, Andrew. Kiss or Chi-Chi.
What's Chi-Chi?
What's Chi-Chi? Well, it's a fight to the death with the Trunchbull from Matilda. Obviously.
Becky?
Who's Becky? We've never seen Becky before. So anyway, more filler happens, and Andrew sets out for Crybaby Lane to look for the grave of the good twin. and finds it immediately. Whatever, this movie already has enough filler, I shouldn't be asking for more. Son of a bitch! Andrew, how did you find the gravestone so fast? If the evil twin was supposed to be buried there, why did Bennett give him a gravestone? Is that to respect the body? Is it because he knew the good twin was buried there? Why bury the evil twin in the cemetery? Was it a mistake, or did he do that on purpose? If it was a mistake, how did he come to realize that mistake? Did he bury one and then realize it was the wrong one when he buried the other? Why does nothing make sense? So anyway, Andrew tries to pull the root and is immediately transported to the grave of the evil twin.
Way to go, Andrew.
Who is it?
Okay, we've got 8 minutes left, and I'm assuming that includes a falling action or an epilogue that wraps everything up. If anything even remotely ban-worthy happens in this entire movie, it has to happen here. This is your last chance, movie. Give me what you got.
Wait. You gotta see this.
I don't want to see anything!
You gotta see my collection.
Okay, gross. Not exactly ban-worthy.
You're mine, Andrew. I'm your brother now.
Okay, this could lead somewhere interesting.
You're not my brother!
There's a weed that comes from the twin's heart. You have to cut the root.
Does Andrew die? Do we just get a really bleak ending? Is that why this movie was banned? Son of a bitch! So anyway, everything gets wrapped up. Andrew's okay, Kathy's okay, Becky's okay, whoever she is, Kenneth's okay, Andrew and Kathy are together, I guess, and Carl even starts hanging out with that one kid from earlier.
And there you have it, Crybaby Lane, an original movie and Snick, and pretty scary if you ask me.
No, it wasn't! Folks, I'm gonna level with you. This one was a chore to sit through. Nothing happens through a majority of the movie, it's lousy with filler, and aside from that opening sequence, there's absolutely nothing that any kids or parents would have any objection to. If you cut it down to about 30 minutes, maybe you can make a decent episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? But as a 70-minute movie, this is a complete snooze fest. Are we sure this film wasn't just lost because nobody cared enough to look for it again? But whatever, this is just my opinion. And while this film isn't exactly too hot for TV in my opinion, it certainly fits what Nickelodeon was doing at the time. Hell, it's probably scarier than anything the Disney Channel was putting out back then. What's this? Oh, don't look under the bed. Ooh, how spooky. Let's take a look at this bullshit. Oh, wow. Oh, holy shit. Wow, good job, Disney Channel. That actually has some pretty creepy imagery in it. Actually creepier than Crybaby Lane. Wait, so Crybaby Lane gets banned after one showing because it's too intense, but Don't Look Under the Bed was allowed to air with no problems? I mean, granted, I don't understand what standards and practices were like for the respective companies at the time, but I have to imagine that Nickelodeon was less strict than the fucking Disney Channel. Hang on, I gotta look this up. There were a number of meetings where we... Scary, but not too scary. Okay. That's the bar. Disney Channel ultimately decided to stop airing the film at the request of parents who thought it was too scary. Okay, so they both got banned. Still not sure why this movie was allowed to air more times than this one, though. Honestly, they both seem like perfectly fine kids' Halloween movies to me. Wait a second, what exactly was it that got Crybaby Lane banned in the first place? Lost film for over decades since... widely believed to be withheld from re-release because of controversy surrounding the film, but a Nickelodeon representative stated that the film had been merely forgotten. In 2011, a copy was discovered on Reddit, and the ensuing reaction prompted T-Nick to re-air the film on October 31st, 2011. So you mean to tell me that I went through all this trouble to get a VHS copy of this banned Nickelodeon film, and it was on YouTube this whole time, since 2012, and the movie was never even really banned to begin with? What the hell? Do you have any idea how much money Hang on a sec. Sup, Tim? How's it going? Hey, I got a little bit of a bone to pick with you, my dude. Yeah, you know that tape you sold me? Crybaby Lane? Turns out that shit's on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, what the fuck, you knew?
Of course I knew. I'm surprised you didn't.
What the fuck? You told me that shit was lost media.
Yeah, it was. I just didn't tell you it was found.
Son of a... How'd you even get that tape in the first place?
Oh, I made that.
What?
Yeah, just slashed some of the footage together with some old commercials, put it on a DVD, and recorded it to VHS. Took like half an afternoon.
You're gonna give me my money back.
Oh, no, I am not.
Yes, you are, Tim.
Yeah, no.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, dude. Dude, we've been friends for a long fucking time. You don't get to pull this bullshit on me, my dude. You gotta... Oh, don't bring my fucking segments into this, you goddamn ripoff artist. You're gonna give me my money back or I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. You... Oh, really? We're gonna resort to mockery now. Are we? Okay, great. Real mature, Tim. You guys want to see what's actually on this tape? This. Whatever this is.